JR Radio.
Where are we off to next, Rabbi?
Let's go right to the big topic of the week.
The budget.
No, not the budget.
The South Australian election.
The South Australian election. We'll get to that. But the big one is the slap, and all of these topics that we're about to talk about all come under an umbrella of moral decay. Okay. So the big one we're going to start with is the slap. Did Will Smith snap? Did he snap? He was laughing at the beginning when he heard the joke, and I think he looked at his wife and I think he thought, "Oh my gosh, my wife's not laughing." And I remember the last maybe 6 months of all the tourists we've gone through.
That's how I read it.
Is that how you read it?
Chris Rock cracked the joke.
Just by the way, there was no setup, right?
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was a setup.
I don't think it was a setup.
So Chris Rock
cracks a joke that Will Smith has probably made around the house at some point.
No.
Right? I'm just saying. Fortunately, as a family,
maybe to make a bit of light of the situation.
Fortunately, as a family, we haven't had to deal with any, disease, illness, conditions,
Baruch
whatever.
Hashem.
Baruch Hashem. But I'm assuming if we did, you would find ways of making light of it, right? And what you say behind within the confines of your own home is totally different to what is expected when you're out in public.
It's like we had that comedian last week at the Purim thing. He was cracking jokes about him having cancer.
Yeah.
He's allowed to poke fun at himself. Jews are allowed to make jokes about themselves as well, right?
That's right. But it's one thing to be self-deprecating.
Yeah.
So, Chris Rock cracks this joke. Will Smith has a bit of a giggle, and then he looks across, sees his wife dying on the inside, and then, you know what? This is wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
But he must have snapped.
Oh.
Or did he get on his was it his high horse he got on? Or did he just kind of the bristles on his neck went up and said, "Wrong. Just wrong."
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm prepared to put it down to that. I've never been in a situation where the person causing the hate has been close enough for me to actually give him a smack across the mouth.
There wouldn't be much left of them if you gave anyone a smack across the mouth.
Well, no, that's true. But, I can also tell you when people have tried to have a go at whether it was my wife, whether it was one of my kids, whether it was anyone who didn't deserve it, as soon as they found out that I was able to get to them if I so chose to, then, it would be
right. So they think twice before they actually open their mouth. Is that true?
Correct.
So there's an underlying threat from you that's unspoken, but there is an atmosphere.
Unspoken, it's implied. They know
that there's a line.
That there's a line and there's a standard. And I think
and for him, for Chris Rock, it was very much of a throwaway line. It took like 2 seconds for him to say, it wasn't as if it was long and extended. It's like, G.I. Jane, well done, we're going to see you in the next sequel. Where did that come from? Mate, I'm sick.
Yeah. And it was interesting. I was only talking about it with Abe last night, how we're on opposite sides of the fence on this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. He thinks Will Smith was completely in the wrong. I think Will Smith, I'm not saying did the right thing, but I'm not saying Will Smith was wrong either. Abe's take on it, and Abe, as you know, is a 20-year-old kid. He thinks Will Smith did the wrong thing because he, I believe, is making a value judgment on the status of their relationship. And if you'd like to buy into this at all, 90692087.
Yeah, give us a call, 90692087.
Because they have a publicly open relationship. Were you aware of this?
Who's this?
The Smiths.
Okay.
Will and Jada Pinkett.
All right.
Right. Apparently they have an open relationship. So he's made his decision based on the fact that they have what they call an open relationship. I don't understand how it works. I couldn't imagine anything more ridiculous to try. You know, if you've got a problem with your wife, you don't go out and get another woman because then you just end up with two problems, right? I don't get it, but that's what it is. So that's
and it's probably the other way around for women as well. Why would they want two men to deal with?
Well, you know what the penalty for bigamy is, don't you?
Two
mothers-in-law. So, and if you love your mother-in-law, call someone who cares. So yeah, he's made the call based on that she doesn't deserve the defending. My only question to that was, would you think she deserved defending if she'd lost her hair? Like if we knew that she was undergoing chemotherapy, for example.
Right, would he have cracked a joke?
Right,
Again?
would he have cracked a joke about it?
Yeah.
Right.
And an illness is an illness.
And like I saw
she'd been on a video that she'd produced and published to the public, and she was under stress and may very well be showing signs of depression.
Yep. And I saw a brief news bulletin today where they found a clip of Will Smith making fun of somebody else suffering with alopecia. This was the big headline.
Oh, is that right?
So it was when he was doing the show with Arsenio Hall. Oh. There was some bald guy. I can't remember. But let's be honest, there's a hell of a difference in making fun of a guy who's going bald.
Fictional.
No. They were like interviewing someone, and I think it was a member of the crew or whatever. So I wasn't paying that much. But you're making fun of a bloke, right? Who really, by the time you're our age, you're going to experience baldness. We all get used to it.
And a lot of guys shave their heads anyway.
And a lot of guys shave their heads anyway. But for men, it's acceptable to be bald.
Yeah.
You know, for women, it's very, very difficult.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I can imagine perhaps being in his position and getting really upset with what Chris Rock has just said, and you feel like you want to pop them one. You feel like you want to get up, and I think I've been in situations before where in public I've gotten up in front of people and made a statement. I remember doing one when I was back in school even. I remember telling everyone to shut the hell up because I wanted to hear what the teacher had to say. So,
were you feeling all right that day?
Well, but
did the teacher then send you to matron?
Harry, you and I have both been in situations where right is right, and you and I are prepared to stand up and make that statement.
Yep.
So would I have felt like popping in one? Yes. Would I have done it? I mean, there's a big step there.
I don't think I would have. Honestly, I could see myself standing up and going, mate, what the hell, what the hell's going on?
I mean, I would have been him and walked right up to him, right up on the stage in front of him.
Who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
And then, you know what, dear? We don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. Or even put your hand on his shoulder, even in a threatening sort of way.
So, I couldn't
do we need to step outside and sort this out?
I mean,
because no one's making fun of my wife like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's really only ever been one time where I've had a physical altercation, and that was where I literally dragged a guy up a couple of steps just so I could throw him down the couple of steps that were at the front of this building.
But what happened? What was the situation?
He was a bully. As strange as it may seem, I haven't always been 2 meters tall and a couple of axe handles across the shoulder.
Do you regret it these days?
As a young
in
kid,
hindsight,
that I did? No, not at
Why
all.
not?
Because I found out years later I have been living in his head rent free since that very evening.
Right. Sorry, I'm laughing because I've found out also I've been living inside someone else's head.
These things have come around. So this guy bullied me. And he was a few years older than me. Anyway, I finished school, as you know. I went off and, I was doing stand-up around Melbourne.
Yeah.
Anyway, one night I've come off from doing a 20-minute set, stinking hot summer's night. I'm standing out the front of the pub having a drink and a chat with a couple of the other comics. This idiot walks up. Hey, do you remember me? I go, do I remember you? I've just grabbed the front of his shirt, dragged him up these 2 stairs to throw him down the 2 stairs.
Oh, he hadn't done anything at the time, actually.
No,
this was unprovoked. You
from
attacked him.
He's walked up to me. right?
He didn't do
after
anything
giving me
to
nothing
you.
but after giving me nothing but grief when we were
yeah.
at school, right?
yeah.
So this idiot's walked up to me. I threw it down and said, "You know what? If I ever see you again,
Yeah.
if I ever see you again,
Yeah.
right, you're not going to survive."
So let's move this on. Let's hit the promo button for a second.
Anyway, long story short, turns out he became a teacher who was teaching one of my cousins. She's over for dinner one night, like she's in grade 4 or 5. She's going, "Oh, Teacher Paul doesn't like me. He always gives me a hard time." I said, "You know what? You go tell Teacher Paul.
Who you're?
If he has a problem with you, he has a problem with your cousin Harry Grave. The next time I see the kid, it's like, "Oh, how you doing? Oh, yeah, school's a lot
Treating
better.
me
And
really
Teacher
nice."
Paul is so nice to me now."
Wow.
Right, so